Akhi, if you want to be successful, just understand this one thing. You do not achieve goals, you achieve identities. And so the reality that you're living right now is in consequence of your nafs, your ego, your lower self. Okay? And the reality you want to achieve, the reality you want to live, the one where you're potentially making 10K per month, right? 100K per month. You've retired your parents, you've taken care of yourself. If you're not married, you're living in the country you want to live with the perfect house. Your kids are amazing, like everything about the life that you want to live. I'm telling you now, you cannot achieve it the way you are right now. You're physically incapable of getting there, genuinely. And when you understand that you cannot chase that thing, like you cannot chase, for example, making money, you cannot chase signing clients, you cannot chase starting a business, you cannot chase any of that because you're not going to achieve it by chasing it. You're going to achieve it as a consequence of the person that you become. And you don't even chase an identity. It's supposed to be fluid, right? Although there are battles with your nafs, your lower self, when you're aiming to become a better person, you're aiming to become a higher version of yourself, your lower self is going to continuously fight you every single day. And so understand that the battle is not won by doing outreach, building the business, taking sales calls, like investing your money correctly. Like, that's not how you win. You win by being the person who does those things. You don't do those things for the sake of doing them. You do them because that's just who you are. Okay? I say this because you have to understand, akhi. You genuinely have to understand this. I'm sick of seeing Muslim entrepreneurs struggle to become successful. Do you know why I'm so sick and tired of it? Because we cannot make the Ummah great unless we ourselves become great. And we're not becoming great by chasing the things in this dunya that do not even matter. That thing can disappear in an instant. For example, I do not meditate for the sake of meditating. I do not meditate to get something out of it. I meditate because that's just who I am. Right? I don't scroll on social media, not for the sake of preserving my dopamine. I don't scroll on social media because that's who I am. And that makes it so much easier to do. You see, the likes of Hormozy and like potentially other people that you watch, they're talking about grind. Like everything's about grinding. If you live life as somebody who chases these things, as somebody who's continuously pursuing these things, what does that show of you? It shows you as the person who doesn't deserve these things, right? So before you do anything, you have to be the person. You have to convince yourself. When I say convince, it sounds like you're lying. You're not lying because you choose who you are. You tell yourself a story every single day. So when you tell yourself a story such as, I struggle to do work, therefore I have to do work, what does that say about you? That you struggle. Therefore work will be hard to do. But when you say to yourself, I am somebody who works, then the work itself doesn't matter what it is. You'll do it. You'll do it. And you don't become disciplined by just doing the hard work. You become disciplined by being the person who is disciplined. Now, you might ask, right, Fedi, what comes first, the chicken or the egg, right? Do I be disciplined and like be the person to achieve my goals and become disciplined? Like, do I have to have the identity before I take the action? Yes. It's not about like the action and the identity. They're not separated necessarily. What I'm telling you is that right now, the reason everything feels off for you is because you're chasing something. You're chasing something. You're doing the action out of fear, out of lack. You're scared. You're taking the action, for example, outreaching to get clients because you're scared you're not going to get clients. You're doing it because you want to grow your business. You're not doing it because that's who you are, which is why you can never be consistent, because you do something for the sake of doing it, not because of who you are, which is what I'm trying to tell you. If we take it back to our Deen for a second, and I want to end the video on this, when you pray, why do you pray? Do you pray because you have to? Or do you pray because you have the identity of a Muslim? Why? You might say, well, Fedi, I have to pray. Yeah, of course it's fard, we have to pray. But I'm saying when you're going into prayer, do you go, oh, I have to pray? Or do you say, I am somebody who prays. I'm somebody who prays, like who prays my 5 daily prayers because I'm Muslim. That's who I am. Probably the second one. And if you're finding your prayers are hard, I've just given you the answer. You force yourself to do them because you've created a separation between them and who you are. And so I remind you this. We don't achieve goals, we achieve identities. And we achieve identities by becoming that person and assuming we are that person. And then acting like that person becomes incredibly natural. For example, now what time is it? It's like 9:45 for me, something like that, 9:45 p.m. The reason I made this video is because I'm the kind of person that makes videos authentically. I plan them based on taqwa. That's how I plan my videos. based on thinking of Allah, I think what would be a message I could give to the younger version of me right now? And that's how I make these videos. That's it. That's why at 9:45 a.m. I'm making this video. Sorry, p.m., not a.m. 9:45 p.m. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go shower. I'm going to pray. And then I'm going to meditate. And why do I do each of those things? Because that's just who I am. There's no struggle for me to do them. I don't want to pick up my phone and scroll on social media for ages and then procrastinate doing them. I don't procrastinate doing these things because that's just who I am. And so forget about the grind culture. Because you keep chasing these things. You do them because you're obsessed with them. You want the outcome from them. I'm just somebody who makes, inshallah, bi'idhnillah, 150k per month. And you'll see that if you decide to continue watching me, bi'idhnillah, for the rest of the period, Allahu Alam, how long it takes me to get there, I'll make 150k per month, bi'idhnillah. Like I will. I'm just the kind of person who will. I'll develop myself into that person. So the way I make the videos, the way I act, the way I do things, the way I live my life is going to be very, very different. Such as sleeping earlier and getting into bed by 10:30, which I'm going to do now. Bi'idhnillah. All right, well, if you want to make money online, very simply, you can either start the business or sign clients for your current business. I've got a free school community you can join. I coach in there for free once a week, and I have free courses in there, inshallah. So bi'idhnillah, I'll see you in there. Shameless plug as usual. You don't have to join if you don't want to, honestly. But inshallah, I'll see you soon. May Allah bless you. May Allah bless your parents. May Allah bless you with shifa. And may Allah bless you with rizq. May we be reunited in Jannat al-Firdaus. Allahumma ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.